Congratulations on your new rental property. We aim to make your renting experience smooth and hassle-free. Whether this is your first time renting or you've been a renter for some time, this video gives an insight into everything you need to know before moving into your new Jellis Craig home. Let's begin. Responsibilities. When a property is rented, each party has a certain responsibility. As a renter, you must keep the property clean and meet your financial obligations. The rental provider must keep the property well maintained and ensure you have quiet enjoyment of the property. It's our job to make sure that both renters and rental providers meet their obligations. Prompt and honest communication can resolve most problems. If you have any questions during your tenancy, contact your property manager. Email is best, as most requests need to be in writing. We'll do everything we can to resolve issues quickly with minimum fuss. Bond. Before your tenancy begins, you'll need to pay a bond, which we will lodge with the Rental Tenancies Bond Authority. You will receive payment instructions for this from our office and an email and text from the RTBA to complete the lodgement. The bond is lodged with the RTBA until your tenancy ends. At this point, we'll arrange a final inspection and then discuss the refund of your bond. Services and utilities. Before you move, don't forget to connect your utilities and put the water into your name. Our office can arrange our connections company to get in touch to do this for you for free. If you haven't heard from them already, just ask your property manager. If you prefer to do it yourself, make sure you contact all necessary suppliers to set up utilities in your name. Otherwise, they won't be connected before you move in. And remember, before power can be connected, the main switch needs to be turned off. We'll aim to do this, but it does remain the renter's responsibility to confirm before you move in. Rent. Rent is payable monthly in advance and must reach our office on or before the due date. We'll give you payment details before you move in to inform you about the way to pay your rent. Remember, payments may take up to 3 days to reach our account. So, to avoid being in arrears, we suggest having this set up 3 days before the due date. Our rental providers have financial commitments too, and they rely on rent being paid on time. So, if you have payment difficulties or are likely to be late with a payment, please advise your property manager straight away. Condition report. The condition report establishes the state of the property at the start of your tenancy. You must sign and return it within 5 business days of starting your tenancy. If it isn't returned, our copy, together with photos we take, will be used as a comparison at the end of your tenancy to assess whether your bond is refunded. To ensure a quick response, it is best to make any requests for property maintenance or repairs separately, not in the condition report. Changing tenants. The rental provider has only approved those renters that have applied for the property. No new renters can move in without formal approval by the rental provider. If you wish to transfer the rental agreement, both incoming and outgoing renters need to complete and sign some paperwork, and a transfer fee is payable. We'll help you through this process. If your agreement is in joint or multiple names, all parties are jointly and severally liable. That means if one person can't meet their financial commitment, all other parties are held responsible for meeting it. Sharing and subletting. Remember that you are not allowed to share the property with any adult who is not named on the rental agreement. If you wish to have someone share the home with you, even if only for a short period of time, you must seek permission from your rental provider via your property manager. As a standard term of your rental agreement, you are unable to sublet the property or offer it on sites like Airbnb. Unless the rental provider has approved this, you risk being given a notice to vacate. Garden and pool maintenance. Unless otherwise specified, it's your responsibility to water and mow lawns, prune trees and shrubs, and maintain any garden beds. If you'd rather hire a professional, call and ask us for our list of recommended gardeners. If you have a pool, you will need to make sure that you keep this clean throughout your tenancy. If you need help with this, your property manager can refer you to a local pool cleaner. Routine inspections. To ensure the property is well maintained, we inspect the property 3 months after your tenancy begins, and every 6 months after that. The rental provider may be present, and our office will give you adequate notice before each inspection. Please note that your property manager will need to take general photographs of the property at these inspections. Rental agreement expiry. When your fixed-term rental agreement expires, you don't need to vacate the property unless you or the rental provider has given written notice to terminate the tenancy. The contract reverts automatically to a periodic or month-to-month arrangement. If you wish to sign a further fixed-term rental agreement, advise your property manager so the rental provider can consider the extension. Vacating the property or termination of tenancy. If you do wish to terminate your rental agreement at the end of your fixed term, you'll need to provide 28 days written notice to our office, confirming your intention to vacate. We'll give you information on how to vacate the property and a list of what needs to be done. Breaking the rental agreement. Some renters find themselves in a position where they aren't able to see out the full term of their contract. If you need to vacate before the end of your rental agreement, notify your property manager as early as possible. The costs of breaking a contract are outlined in your rental agreement, but we'll work with you to help minimise any financial loss. Locks and keys. The rental provider, through Jellis Craig, will provide you with 1 set of keys per adult. You can change the locks at the property, however, you must request permission from your property manager first. If you do change the locks, you need to provide a duplicate key to our office within 24 hours, as required under the Tenancies Act. If you believe any locks are defective, please report this immediately to your property manager. Ordering additional keys and remotes. If you need more keys, you can arrange these at your cost. It's fine to make copies using a locksmith, and for security or restricted keys, you can usually order copies through the owner's corporation or building manager. For security reasons, you'll need to return any additional keys at the end of your rental agreement. There is no refund on additional keys or remotes. Safety checks. There are safety requirements with which rental providers must comply. This includes safety checks and keeping records of these checks. The rental provider must ensure that an electrical safety check of all electrical installations, appliances, and fittings is conducted every 2 years using a registered electrician. If the property contains any gas appliances, fixtures, or fittings, there must be a gas safety check conducted every 2 years. Every smoke alarm in a rented premises must be correctly installed, be in working condition, and be tested at least once every 12 months. The rental provider must ensure batteries are replaced as required, and the renter is provided with the information about how to use and test these alarms. The renter is not to tamper with smoke alarms and must report any breakdowns to the rental provider. Where the property has a swimming pool, the rental provider must ensure that the swimming pool barrier is in good condition, and if not, it must be replaced or repaired. If the property is in a designated bushfire-prone area, a water tank is required for firefighting purposes, and the tank and any connected infrastructure must be maintained. Some rental providers employ an independent contractor to check these items. If your rental provider has engaged this service, you will be contacted during your tenancy to set up an appointment. It's important that you cooperate and allow this service to take place in a timely manner. Owners Corporation. If you rent an apartment or townhouse, it's likely that an owners corporation exists, and you must abide by their rules and guidelines during your tenancy. We will provide you with a copy of these rules in your disclosure statement. If you have any complaints or maintenance requests about common areas, contact your property manager, who will liaise with the owners corporation. Filters for air conditioners and Rangehoods. It's your responsibility to ensure that filters for air conditioning units and kitchen Rangehoods are kept clean. We recommend checking and cleaning at least every 3 months. If you're unsure how to clean the filters, check the instruction manual or contact your property manager for assistance. If cleaning isn't undertaken, you may have to cover the cost of this service if this causes any future problems with the unit. Property modifications. If you're considering making any modifications to the property, it is best to reach out to your property manager to understand the provisions around this. Repairs and maintenance. We will make sure that there are working globes in all lights at the start of your tenancy. During the tenancy, it is your responsibility to change any globes. If you need assistance with this, please ask your property manager, who can recommend a tradesperson. As per the Residential Tenancies Act, you must advise of any problem or damage that occurs during your tenancy. If you do not, you could be held liable for additional costs the rental provider might incur. We have an expert team of qualified tradespeople to carry out repairs and maintenance. So, if a problem occurs, advise us immediately in writing. You can also make repair requests online at jelliscraig.com.au. Pets. Pets in rental properties can be kept with the written consent of the rental provider. During your tenancy, before planning to get a pet, please request permission via your property manager before purchasing the pet, as the rental provider may apply to VCAT for an order that is reasonable to refuse permission to allow an animal to be homed at the rental property. If you have been approved to have a pet at the property, you may need to fumigate the property at the end of your tenancy, as well as repair any damage caused by the pet. Urgent repairs. If you need an urgent repair outside of business hours, call our emergency repairs number that is stated on your rental agreement. An urgent repair is one of the following: burst hot water unit, blocked or broken toilet system, flooding or serious flood damage, serious storm or fire damage, serious roof leak, serious gas leak, failure or breakdown of gas, water or electricity supply, a dangerous electrical fault, failure or breakdown of an essential service or appliance used for hot water, cooking, heating, smoke alarm, pool fence or laundering, a failure or breakdown of a cooling appliance or service provided by the rental provider, a fault or damage that makes the premises unsafe or insecure, including pest infestation, the presence of mould or damp caused by or related to the building structure, a landlord's appliance or fitting that is causing a substantial amount of water to be wasted, a failure to comply with any of the rental minimum standards, or a fault in a lift or staircase. Only in the event of one of these are you permitted to contact a tradesperson to attend to the repair after hours. You will need to consult your rental agreement or after-hours phone service for tradesperson's contact details. For further information on urgent repairs, refer to the Red Tenancy Handbook, review your rental agreement, or contact Consumer Affairs. Mail. You can arrange for the redirection of your mail through the local post office. If mail for the rental provider arrives during your tenancy, please direct it to our office so we can forward as required. Contents insurance. The landlord's insurance covers the building, fixtures and fittings. Given the risk of burglary, theft or damage from natural events, we strongly recommend you take out a comprehensive contents insurance policy. Loss or damage of your contents while in the property is not the responsibility of the rental provider and is not included in their insurance. Rubbish. Please place all rubbish in the appropriate bins. Check with the local council to find out bin collection days. If you require any hard rubbish to be removed during your tenancy, you will need to contact the council directly. Ensure you do this before you put anything out on the nature strip, or you might be fined by the council. Thanks for taking the time to learn about how property rental works. If you'd like to know more, check out the Consumer Affairs Victoria booklet. We'll give you one at the start of your tenancy. That's it from us, and good luck in your new home.